And the other part is, if somebody isn't, subscribing to your ethos, and they're not, following, your program of mentorship, and giving back. Like the financial piece is great, but for the client's perspective, when they feel like they're getting that guidance and that leadership and that expertise, and then they see the difference when they look in the mirror or their brain, is thinking more clearly. Yeah, to me, that's more valuable than any dollar that you can make. So
Yeah.
I know that I've read some of your client feedback, and I tell you, man, you and your trainers are hitting home runs out there in Dallas.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I pride myself on professionalism, and that's one of the biggest things that we need to always remember. It's like, how does the consumer, there's a difference. And I always tell my trainers this because I do business seminars as well. There's a difference between Ruth Chris and Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to be?
Yeah.
And then it all of a sudden that analogy goes, oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. It's like you can still get a steak, you can still get potatoes, you can still get mac and cheese, but look at the difference of quality, look at the difference of service, and then look at the difference of price points.
Right.
And so that's what, when you put it out there like that, they're like, okay, I get it.
Get what you pay for, brother. You get what you pay for. I agree with you there. So Mark, we talked about the gym, and and it's going fantastic for you. But I know you have other stuff that you're doing as well, particularly 3 other businesses that you have injected yourself in and that you are leading. Could you briefly kind of summarize those other businesses?
Absolutely. So with Self-Made Training Facility Dallas, we handle the independent contractor side of the personal trainer. So that's one business. But inside of it, and what I've developed is the Manifest Fitness Institute. So Manifest Fitness Institute is now a personal training school. So what I found as the director of education for Self-Made Training Facility in the past was that a lot of trainers just didn't have the education. They didn't even know where to go get it. So they would come to the facility, they would try it out because, the glitz and the glam of working for yourself and nobody telling you what to do or where to go. And then some of these guys and gals are making tremendous amount of money. So it's the glitz and the glam, but the trainers didn't have the education business wise. They didn't have the education or the sources or where to go to expand their knowledge. And so what I did is I developed a company that brings all of that together. So we partnered with International Sports Science Association. We are going to be hosting our first class September 11th. It's an 8-week course for your certified personal trainer course, 7 weeks of CPT curriculum. And then that 8th week, you are going to get nothing but business development. So you'll learn about lead generation, lead nurture, sales, retention, and fulfillment. So you're getting that at 8 weeks. So you can walk out a formidable business. So you are a business when you walk out. So I got that one. But then I took it a step further. And what I realized again, that there was a disconnect with trainers and dealing with the lead nurture side, dealing with having an understanding of what a customer relation management software is, putting names into a system and having systems, a payment system, a scheduling system. So I came up with a concept called Rose and Connect with my partner, Ari Santiago. And we developed a software to be able to basically have all of those things into one hub for an independent contractor trainer. So they put their lead, whoever they meet, into the CRM. The CRM generates emails, text messages. The consumer, the lead, can schedule a consultation, can pay through it. But the other thing for the business owner is it centralizes all their inboxes as well. So if you have multiple business emails, DMs, Instagram, or anything like that, it can all bring all your messages into one box. So you don't have to keep pressing this to get into all these other things, which takes time. So what I've done is I've developed this with my partner to be able to save time for the trainer to provide more value to their clients so they can make more money. So if you have your back-end systems already in play, you can make more money because now you're providing a better service instead of taking so much time to try to contact all these leads, to try to, do the payment processing on your own, utilizing, Venmo or Stripe or Zelle or something like that. This all goes into one system.
Wow. That's brilliant, dude. Brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So
That was a,
we also, which we're a step above, we're going to be doing Meta Business Suite. So we'll be managing Meta Business Suites, dealing with ads managers. We'll be able to run ads through the system as well, through the software. And also we have a social media planner in there as well. So you can literally put a year's worth of posts for your social media and it would automatically post it. So you don't even have to generate it. We also have ChatGPT infused into the software. So if you want to have ChatGPT do your captions, they could do your captions as well.
man, innovation, creativity, evolving, right? And just continuing, to try to push to the next level, just continuously doing that, man. I tell you, that's amazing because, I'm dude, man, I'm a guy, I go to the gym and I leave. I don't really think about, the business side of it in that aspect, but I'm glad that this is working really well for you. And I know we had talked a little bit, a few days ago about your financial goals, and please, I'll let you speak on it. I know you made your first milestone. In the future, what do you intend to do? Like, what's your goal?
So financially, it's like as each business thrives, I have projections, and if you have a business, you should have projections because that's really going to dictate, okay, can this business make enough revenue for me to thrive? Could it be, can it expand? So one of my goals obviously is, like I told you earlier, people have a threshold, they have a ceiling. So when you ask somebody, how much money would you like to make? And what you'll hear is 6 figures. And then when you dig a little deeper and say, well, how much is 6 figures? Most people would say between 100 and 200,000, and again, like we had spoke about, it equates to, roughly around $8,000 to $12,000 a month. But if you've got a $4,000 mortgage on a nice house, and we're talking an average nice house in America with the interest rates, especially the way they are now, all that you're taking just as your mortgage, you still got all the rest of your bills. So are you really making a great amount of money? The answer is no. So why not take that 6 figures and put it up to 999,999? Make that the 6-figure count, or just go for 7 figures and all together. So my goal is I'll make my first million this year by December 31st, gross sales, not net. So gross sales, the businesses would make $1 million. That's my goal. And then my goal for next year is to net $100,000 a month. So the goal is to, between all my businesses and everything, to net $100,000 a month. Now, those are my financial goals right now. The ultimate goal for all my businesses is to be able to go international. So my goal is to be in other countries. So I already know that Manifest is going to take off. It's gotten a lot of great buzz. A lot of the fitness industry, it's what's needed. There's no schools that are really out there. I have one other competitor that's nationwide that is very inconsistent any which way you go. So if you go to the one in New Jersey in comparison to California, completely different curriculum. And it just doesn't make sense, so mine is going to be consistent across the board. So that's the goal, is to not only be consistent, but also partner with the best of the best within the fitness industry to bring all their education curriculum to one place. So now we're the fitness hub for health and fitness education.
Mark, you're trying to build an empire, man. And like, why not? Like, why shouldn't you? And that's great, man. Like, I don't look at you as though like you're greedy or, or anything, because I see the benefit of what you're doing. Particularly, I'm telling you, man, like the people who come to you, it'd be one thing if you're running a chop shop, right? But you're running a professional organization. They're getting good value out of their money, right? And I know that means a lot to, to your clients. So that's good stuff, man.
Let's expand on that real quick, Mark, because, you brought up a great statement. You said you're not greedy. And let me tell you something. No, I am not. Because the big thing that I want to do is pass this off to people that want to learn. So my thing is that I'll go through the ringer. I kind of like the Marine Corps again. When I became a drill instructor, I went through that 12 weeks of hell in DI school. and all of us drill instructors that are on here know exactly what I'm talking about. Especially in our era. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We went through that, and then we went through the 3 years. Now, after that 3 years was complete, right? I was at my 11-year mark in the Marine Corps when I got off the drill field. So I had 9 years to give that information to all the junior Marines that came after that 11-year mark, all the people that worked for me, all the people I came in contact with. I was able to give them that experience and show them how that helped propel my career. That's what I'm doing here with the entrepreneur world. Here is my experience. This is what I've done. I started as a personal trainer, running my own business. I came up as a director of education. I made that position for myself and worked for almost 1.5 years for free. But I literally built that whole program. And now I understand all the educational entities within the fitness industry. Then on top of that, now I own a franchise, running my own gym. I know how to do that. So in a few years, if I want to expand out and do something different, I have that experience and I can speak. I have my facility manager, Cesar Coronado, who helps me at the gym. He's a tremendous help in my gym. He wants to own a gym one day. So you know what I told him? Become my facility manager and I'm going to teach you how to run a gym. Yeah, so I'm giving him all the tool sets so he knows. So that's not greedy, because to me, it's like I'm trying to get you to either get to my level or even surpass me. Because if you surpass me, I'm going to feel great that I had a part of that.
Yeah, that's very true, Mark. We often say that, watching those that we mentor rise above and do indeed, bigger and better things than we did. Like, to me, that's a very gratifying feeling. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're okay, man. Go ahead.
One more thing. Military service members, veterans. Here's the other piece, is that I want to stop the stigma that every retiree needs to go straight to the ROTC program, or every military retiree needs to go straight to a government job. No, you do not. You don't. You can actually come out and start a whole new career, start a whole new venture, and make it happen and make a ton of money. I want to be that example for people so that way they can go, you know what? If he did it, I can do it. I want to get people out of the mindset that you got to go straight into a government job because that's all you know for so many years. Oh, this is all I know. Now, okay, I'm gonna go right here. And it's like, no, you have a lot of skill sets. They taught you these leadership traits and leadership principles that the civilian sector is salivating at their mouths for. They want people like us that are Marines, that are solid, that know how to take care of business, and they will pay you. They will pay you. If you don't want to be an entrepreneur, don't be an employee. But trust me, these companies will pay you an enormous amount of money to do the most simplistic things that we used to do in the military.
Yeah.
I'm that's sorry great. To get on a rant.
No, that's true. Great, Mark. No, you're absolutely right, man. It's like that can be kind of that trap where somebody does not reach within themselves and find that passion that they have. The thing is, a lot of people are just risk averse, and I understand that, and people are looking for that stability. But hey, if you can, if your message and more importantly your example, right? If it pushes a couple people to do things that are outside the norm, then hey, your mission is done. Then you gave back and you did what you were supposed to do. So you're here.
Sorry,
you're here. No, you're here. You're here because you care. I wouldn't have you on this program if you did not care. That's why you're here.
So take care of yourself prior to getting out. So I can't stress this enough. I tell so many people that are active duty, if you don't have a degree, go get it.
Yeah, facts.
Go get it. It's not the end all be all. It's not the end all be all, but it's definitely something that you have in your toolbox, that you have as ammunition when you get out, that you have way more opportunities, more doors opening because you have, whether it's a degree or even the certifications that they provide you for free because you're active duty. Take advantage of them. Get your education beforehand. And the second thing I will say is this. If you don't have a good financial plan, and understand what happens when you retire, then you're going to be up shit creek without a paddle. Trust me on this, because it's going to take a little bit for your VA disability to actually kick in, and nobody knows if you're going to get 100%. So then you're going to lose about $3,000 to $4,000 off your regular income going down from active duty pay to retiree pay. So the smart thing to do is years before, I would say an enlistment, 4 years before, you know that just coming up to your retirement or a time, I would suggest to start mapping out a great financial plan to have good money available for about 6 months after you retire, because that's going to allow you to be able to, okay, what am I going to get myself into, instead of rushing because you're looking at that crash of your financial, status. And that's one of the best advice that I could give.
Hey, love the passion, brother. Love the passion. You and I could film a whole podcast about military transition. Maybe we will in the future, man. Maybe we will in the future. I got Tim Brown coming back on. We're going to talk some more about transition, and you're going to love that one here in a few weeks. It's going to be real. So, Mark, to get us kind of closer to the finish line here, this is not a military transition thing. Like what you're talking about is like life lessons. So regardless of what anybody out there that's watching this, it doesn't matter what endeavor you are in and what field you're in. This advice that you can give them can benefit them as they look, to take that next leap into the field that they're in, the industry that they're in. So my question for you, Mark, is what type of advice can you give somebody, to build, success and to keep on taking the steps, to grow?
Seek mentors. If you want to grow, you got to seek mentors. You got to seek people that have already done it before you. And how do you do that? We are in the age of Google. So if you don't know, right, Google some people. You're in the age of social media where all these big, people that are within all industries already on social media putting all the information out there. Go seek knowledge from people that have done it before you. Seek mentors. That's what I would tell you. Second thing is, like I said earlier, and I can't say it enough, education is continuous. It's just you have to continue to educate yourself. So if you're in a specific field, find what the levels of progression in education are within those fields. Just be a good person,
So Mark, here's so are business plans for real? Do they matter?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Business plans are awesome. I have multiple business plans. Every single one of my businesses has a business plan. And what's really cool is that you get to map out your thoughts and put it on paper. Utilizing a whiteboard and actually writing these things out is also a good visual representation of what your thoughts are. So that way you can go ahead and put all these things together to map it out in a plan. So here's the thing. A lot of people dream, right? And I heard this from Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has this thing called dreams equals visions equals goals equals milestones and deadlines. Problem is a lot of people forget the milestone and deadlines part. So they go through the dreams. They're like, yeah, I got this dream of doing this. And then they make it a vision and they're like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yep.
And they're like, these are my goals. But then they have no timelines. They have no milestones. They have no deadlines. They don't hold themselves accountable to those milestones and deadlines because they don't even have them. So then it becomes a long projected timeline that you could have taken action, but you didn't because you had nothing in stone that said, this is the dates that I want this by. So having a business plan maps that out for you. It actually will help you to put down some dates, and then dealing with personal life, where your family's at, where, your family goals. It could put all of them together so it correlates and you don't have to worry about, oh man, something happened with my family and now I can't do this. It's like, no, now you already had that in your plan, Also, owning a mission statement. What is your mission statement? So for me, I know that Manifest Fitness Institute, for instance, our mission statement is to empower and educate everybody that we can with the best in the health and fitness industry. The other thing is like for myself, I have my own mission statement, and that is to educate anyone and with anything I can, whether it's personally, professionally, to make them better in life. That's my mission statement.
It's a great mission statement, brother.
Do you have one in your business plan? That should be the start of your business plan. is your mission statement. So you know why you're even doing it. And then on top of that, putting in your objectives. What's your, what are you trying to get out of? What is the outcome out of this? And it could be financial. I think that's very important to put that on there. Once you start getting into your financial projections, you start getting into all your networks, you start to get into, in your business plan, of course, and your milestones and deadlines. Then at that point, as time goes on, you can make little tweaks to the business plan, but it's already solid. It's already there. You have a foundation. So that's how important business plans are.
Yeah. So, everybody, you heard it from Mark, who is, going to be, a multimillionaire, throughout his businesses. That's going to happen for him. And I tell you, man, just that small little thing that you take for granted, the better that you do a business plan, the more thorough it is. And the thing about mentorship that you mentioned, right? Like, have your mentor look at it. They'll be able to look at, the gaps and the seams in it, and then the things that you're not considering, and really give it a good thorough look, man. And then I think you're right, dude. Just stick with it and just continue, to go back to it and revert back to it. That's a big part of it. So for me, Mark, I think that, when I look at you, not only just as my friend, but I tell you, man, like I really have a high level of respect for your passion and for your drive. Like when I'm talking to you, I'm just like, Jesus, man, I need to reach within myself. I need to go harder. Like when I'm talking to you, I'm like, Mark Chabot's like, I got to go harder. I got to do better. I can level up. I can do more. That's what I'm thinking when I'm talking to you. And that's good. That's like, you're reaching me, right? Like what is part of like your conditioning, like routine, right? Like your battle rhythm on how you keep yourself, leveling up and stay focused on the goals that you have.
It's some of my routine is actually, putting things into place for timelines. One of the things that I actually lost my way with, which I'm gaining it back, was my own fitness. When I moved here and got into all these businesses, I kind of pushed my physical fitness to the side, and that's a big no-no, And so I actually have been back on the fitness train, back on working out, waking up at 3:45, 4 o'clock in the morning, being at the gym at 4:30, getting that completed 6 a.m., 6:15. I'm already done with my workouts. I'm done with me. Now I can focus on the business. I can focus on what goes. So I come home, I take care of my special needs son, who's going to be with me permanently, along with my wife,
right?
And my wife that's the other thing, having a great support system. My wife is a phenomenal support system. But one of the reasons why I needed her to be that support system and how I can get her to be that support system was by being transparent about what my goals and my future was. So, that's part of the routine as well, is always informing your spouse and your family members of where the train is going, because you're the one that knows it. They may not know it. So you gotta give them the opportunity to understand it, because then if they understand it, they will be a better support system. So that's definitely part of the routine. And then just, continuing to evolve the people around me as well. So when I go to work, I have a routine that I have to go say hello to everybody before I start my workday. So I give a fist pump to every single person, even clients who are in the building. I give them a fist pump, say what's up. And then I actually get to sit down and start work.
That's good, man.
And then before I leave to go home, I do the same thing. I go, hey, I'm leaving. You good? Everything's straight? Everything's good. Cool. I give a fist pump. Good. All right, good to see you. And then I leave. So it's part of my routine. But once I come home, again, it's like I have to make sure my wife and my family comes first. But if my wife says, no, we're good, then I'll continue working until, it's time to go to sleep. Get an adequate, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. It's very important. And, just like I said, make sure you get some time to yourself. Those are routines that I have helped to keep me fit. We eat right here. Like I was telling you before, we weigh off all our food here. Me and my wife, it's a habit here. It's a habit. We weigh off our food to make sure that we're not overindulging, so we eat in the right nutritious foods. That's going to keep you going to be able to be, highly successful.
Awesome. I tell you, man, like one of the things that really stuck with me that you just said was, walking around, fist bumping your employees, showing them some love, showing them some gratitude and some appreciation for what they do.
That's something that I had to learn as well, is like, you invest in people, you invest in some people, just they don't want it, and then they end up leaving and you're like, man, I gave you so much. how come you can't allow it to take it, you can't let it get inside of you because you still have others that still need you and you still have a mission. So you have to continue to just be like, all right, you know what? I invested. I did not receive a complete return on investment on that one, but lesson learned, keep moving.
Yeah, but when people feel valued, right, like you mitigate, that. So exactly. Good on you for making people feel valued within your organization, man. Continue to keep that up. So Marc, we'll do a quick flip the script. We're almost at time here. So it's on you, brother. What you got for me?
So now that you got all this information, which was a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
I'm putting you on the stand right now. Where do you see this podcast going, and where do you see yourself going within this business of the podcast?
Yeah, my short-term goal and mission statement remains the same. Get monetized at any level to get the military memorial paid for, the amphibious assault vehicle memorial. That is just that is my mission right now, is to do that. Now, long-term growth, I do intend to LLC this, Marc. Even though I do this on a part-time basis, I will LLC this. I will grow it as much as the demand is there. And I need to grow in that aspect. So you've shown me, through your talk and, not just to me, but to the viewers, that I need to kind of, think about more of the whole business concept of this thing. I will make this a business, and I'm fired up to do it, man. Like the thing about it, dude, is like I enjoy it. That's first and foremost. And two, there is no amount of money that will ever take away from the messages that I get from guys and gals. That to me, like, if it means something to them, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on doing it.
The only other question I'm going to ask you is, do you have a deadline? Do you have a deadline for that business plan? What's your deadline?
Thank you. Thank you. So by the end of the year, so by December 31st, I want to have my YouTube channel monetized. If you're watching this, please hit subscribe, and I'll do all the work for you. It costs you nothing but just a few minutes of your time. And by the way, you're going to get something in return on your investing in your time. You get to listen to guys like Marc Rodriguez. You get to listen to guys like Sergeant Major Justin D. LeHue, and listen to just great people out there who tell great stories, and they're sharing, their journeys. And to me, it's inspirational. I love listening to other people's journeys. But I like listening to people's journeys that aren't like celebrities. I don't love the whole celebrity culture. I like the neighbors next door. I like guys like you.
Yeah, let's
you know
go.
What I mean?
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Cool, Marc. I'm gonna turn over you. I'm gonna give you an opportunity, please, to shout out to anybody out there you want to show some love to. Go ahead.
Well, I definitely want to show love to my family. Everybody who's watching this, all my friends, and also my people at Self-Made Training Facility Dallas, across the corporation itself. All my mentors. I really appreciate the guidance they've given me, because I don't feel I'd be here without the mentorship that they gave me. And, just everybody who supports me and everything. I appreciate you. I love you guys. And I promise you, there's one statement that I have, and it's written up on my mirror in my bathroom, actually, is there's always somebody watching. And because there's somebody watching, I have a responsibility to live up to the things I'm going to say I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's great advice, Marc. From me to you, you're an easy collaboration. You take it serious. You put effort, into this collaboration, and you made it just real simple. And I appreciate you appearing, on my small audience, humble podcast. But I tell you, man,
be bigger later.
Yeah. It's already exceeded any expectation I ever had, but I'm telling you, man, like guys like you continue to pour into me, and you give me the confidence, and that bump that I need. I'm going to get there, I will get there. I will grow this thing, and it'll be good to go. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, Marc, for having me on your podcast.
Okay, brother.
I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here. I'm humbled. I really am. It doesn't matter how many podcasts I do. I'm always very humbled to be able to even be asked to be a guest. So thank you. Again, and I look forward to your success, my success, and everybody else's success that watches this. So let's get on the grind.
Let's go. You got mutual support from me always. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into the Left, Right, Left podcast. I hope you enjoyed the journey. Mark, starting out as, a youngster, being a father at 17, progressing through the Marine Corps, not letting the fact that he was retired gunnery sergeant being passed over. He said, that is just that is just one chapter in my journey, and going out there and pressing the gas, reaching down within himself, finding that extra gear, and actually living his dream. That's what life's all about. It's opportunities. Stay after it, stay focused, and I love you guys, and thanks for all your support. Have a great afternoon.